morning, everybody. I welcome you all to this digital classroom for the subject control systems. In the previous lecture, I explained the steps to be followed for calculating the transfer function using Mason's gain formula, and we solved few example problems for a given signal flow graph. In this session, I will be explaining the procedure to convert block diagram into signal flow graph and the procedure to convert electrical network to a signal flow graph. So first, let's understand why we need to convert a block diagram to signal flow graph. For a given block diagram, calculating the transfer function is a very lengthy procedure by applying the rules, and rewriting the simplified block consumes so much of time. Whereas in signal flow graph, we apply Mason's gain formula and calculate the transfer function very easily. So now, if you look into this block diagram, each element is represented by a block. The transfer function in the element is shown inside the block. On the other hand, in the signal flow graph, each variable is represented by a separate node. That is, input variable RFS is separated by a separate node, and the output variable CFS is represented by a separate node. The transfer function is shown along the branches connecting the node. The transfer function here is G of S, which has been shown along the branches connecting the node. Apart from input and output, the summing point and the takeoff point has to be represented in the form of a node for a given block diagram. So with respect to this block diagram, once after identifying the summing point and takeoff point, we have to number and represent these points so that it will be helpful for the transformation to signal flow graph. So the first summing point we use here should be represented as EFS, that is nothing but the error signal, as the feedback is taken from the output. So let me represent it as EFS. Then we have represented the takeoff point as x1 with respect to this block diagram. Then draw the nodes and represent the nodes. We have drawn the nodes. We have 4 nodes here: input node RFS, output node CFS, and one summer point which has been represented as EFS. I have told you the reason why we have represented as EFS, and one takeoff point I have numbered it as x1. And we have assigned the branch gain as 1 between the node RFS and EFS, and we have assigned the branch gain as 1 between the node x1 and CFS. This will be very helpful when we assign gain to each branch between the nodes in the signal flow graph. Now we have to transform this block diagram representation into the signal flow graph. So if you look into the block diagram, from x1 to CFS, we have a branch which is moving towards CFS from x1 with a branch gain 1. Then if you look into the node x1, we have only one incoming branch from EFS, which is having a branch gain of G1. And with respect to the node EFS, it is very clear from the block diagram that it has 2 incoming branches, one from RFS with unity gain, and we have another branch which is moving from x1 towards EFS with a branch gain minus H1. And you can relate the performance equation with respect to the summing point or the node EFS. The performance equation is given by EFS is equal to RFS minus H1 x1. Now let's solve a simple problem for the transformation of a block diagram to signal flow graph. You can take down this example problem. Obtain the transfer function for the block diagram using Mason's gain formula. So you have been given with the block diagram. Now the first step is to identify the number of summer point and takeoff point, and then we have to represent the first summer point to be a CFS, and then we have to number the rest of the summer point and takeoff point. Here we have identified, we have 3 summer points and 2 takeoff points. So let's start numbering the summer points and the takeoff points. So The second summer point is represented as x1, third one as x2, the fourth takeoff point is x3, and the fifth one is x4. And from RFS to EFS, we have a unity gain 1, and from x4 to CFS, you have a unity gain 1. Now we have identified all the summer points and takeoff points, and we have represented and numbered the summer points and the takeoff point. Now we can directly transform to the signal flow graph. Let's draw the nodes and represent the nodes. So starting from RFS, that is nothing but the input node. Towards the end, we have CFS, that is nothing but the output node. And in between, we have intermediate nodes like EFS, X1, X2, X3, X4. Let's start drawing the graph. Starting from node X4 towards CFS, we have unity gain 1. Then with respect to node X4, from node X3, we have a branch gain of G4 towards X4. With respect to node X3, we have a branch which is moving from X2 with a branch gain of G3. With respect to X2, we have two incoming branches, one from X1 and other from X4, which is moving towards X2. Hence, we can draw the graph from X1 with a branch gain of G2 towards X2. And in addition to that, from X4, we have a branch gain of minus X1, which is moving towards X2. Now, with specific to node X1, we have two incoming branches, one from EFS towards X1 with a branch gain of G1, and then one from node X3 towards X1 with a branch gain of H2. As it is a negative feedback, we have to represent the sign minus H2. Subjected to node EFS, we have one incoming branch from RFS towards EFS with unity gain, and we have another branch which is from X4 towards EFS, and the branch gain is minus H3. So now we have done with the transformation from the block diagram to the signal flow graph. The next step is to apply Mason's gain formula and calculate the transfer function. So the first step of the Mason's gain formula is nothing but calculate the forward path gain for each forward path. So here we could able to trace, we have only one forward path starting from the first node reaching the destination. So we have only one forward path, and the forward path gain is given by the product of all the branch gains G1, G2, G3, G4. Step 2, to calculate all individual loop gains. Here we could able to identify three individual loops, L1 starting from X1, X3 and reaching back again to X1. Then we have another loop L2 starting from E of S moving towards X1, X2, X3 and reaching back E of S. Then the third loop which starts from X2, X3, X4 again back to X2. So you can write the loop gain L1, L2, L3 as product of all the branch gains through which it follows the path. L1 is equal to minus G2, G3, H2. L2 is equal to minus G1, G2, G3, G4, H3. And L3 is equal to minus G3, G4, H1. Step 3. Consider two non-touching loops at a time. In this given signal flow graph, we have to identify any two loops which is not touching with each other. Here it is very clear that all the three loops are sharing a common node. Hence, we don't have any two non-touching loops in this example. So, it's null for the third case. And if you try for three combinations of two non-touching loops, it's again null. So, we don't have any combination of two non-touching, three non-touching and the rest of other consideration. So moving on to the next step is to calculate delta. The formula for delta is nothing but 1 minus of sum of all individual loop gains. So we have three individual loop gains. So the formula is written as delta is equal to 1 minus of L1 plus L2 plus L3, where L1 is equal to minus G2, G3, H2, L2 is equal to minus G1, G2, G3, G4, H3, and L3 is equal to minus G3, G4, H1. Simplifying delta, we get 1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3, G4, H3 plus G3, G4, H1. Once after finding the value of delta, step 7 is to calculate delta I. Here the number of paths is only 1, n is equal to 1. So delta 1, we are supposed to calculate for delta 1. Delta 1 is nothing but the value of delta which is not touching the first forward path. So with respect to the first forward path, it is very clear that all the loops are sharing a common node with the first forward path. Hence delta 1 will be equal to 1 minus of 0. Now we have to apply this in the transfer function, making use of the Mason's gain formula. C of S by R of S is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n pi delta I divided by delta. As n is equal to 1, the formula will be P1 delta 1 divided by delta. We know the value of P1, delta 1 and delta. Let's substitute in the formula and you get the answer as G1, G2, G3, G4 multiplied by 1 as delta 1 is 1, the whole divided by delta. Delta is nothing but 1 plus G2, G3, H2 plus G1, G2, G3, G4, H3 plus G3, G4, H1. Now we are going to transform a given electrical network into a signal flow graph. So let's take a simple example of a simple electrical network. Let's try to transform it in a form of a signal flow graph. Then try for a complicated electrical network. So it is a very simple RC network. The first step in transforming a electrical network to the signal flow graph is that we have to represent the network in S domain, because in the transfer function we are taking the ratio of Laplace transform of the output divided by Laplace transform of the input. So this network has to be transformed into S domain, which is represented as R1 for the resistor R1. Then Vi of t has to be replaced by capital Vi of S, and V naught of t at the time domain has to be replaced by V naught of S in S domain. And the current flowing through here, I1 of t has to be represented as capital I1 of S. And the Laplace transform of C1, here it has to be replaced as 1 by C1S. This is the first and foremost thing we have to do for the transformation of an electrical network to a signal flow graph. Then the two important thing which you have to take into consideration is, if the element is connected in series, then we have to calculate the current. And if the element is connected in parallel, we have to calculate the voltage. Here, as the resistor R1 is connected in series, we have to calculate the current for the resistor R1. And the capacitor is connected in parallel, that is the shunt element is nothing but the capacitor, hence we have to calculate the voltage across the capacitor. So having these key points in mind, let's use Ohm's law and write the expression for this. For resistor R1, as it is a series element, we have to calculate the current flowing through the resistor R1. So we know by Ohm's law, V is equal to IR and I is equal to V by R, and the resistor R1 is between Vi and V0. Hence, I1 will be equal to Vi minus V0 by R1. Number 2, for capacitor C1, as the capacitor is a shunt element, we have to calculate the voltage across the capacitor. So the voltage across the capacitor V0 is equal to 1 by C1S into I1. So we have obtained two performance equation making use of this electrical network in S domain. Now we have to transform this equation in the form of a performance equation general representation, in which been represented in the right hand side. Just I have rewritten equation number 1 for resistor R1. Then again V0 is equal to 1 by C1S into I1 also can be represented in terms of output V0. Then we have an input I1 with a branch gain of 1 by C1S. So once after representing, let's try to draw the signal flow graph. So now it is very clear that V0 is your output node and I1 is the input, and from I1 a branch is moving towards V0 with the branch gain of 1 by C1S. So making use of this idea, let's plot the signal flow graph. So V0 is the output, and from the node I1 we have a branch which is moving towards V0 with the branch gain 1 by C1S. Then moving on to the first equation, we have a node Vi which is moving towards I1 with the branch gain of 1 by R1. And the second term, we have another node from V0 which is moving towards I1 with the branch gain of 1 by minus 1 by R1. So that's done with the signal flow graph, and the procedure is pretty simple here, and we can follow the same procedure for any type of complicated electrical network. Let's try with the next example. For the network shown below, construct the signal flow graph and obtain the Mason's gain formula. So you have been given with an electrical network. So the first step is to transform this electrical network into an S-domain network. So in the S-domain, I told you to replace everything in uppercase, VI, capital VI of S, then the current flowing as I1 and I2, and the Laplace transform of C1 as 1 by C1S, R1, R1, R2, R2, and we have Vi of S, V1 of S, and V0 of S. And the current flowing as I1 and current flowing through here is I2. So now again recall the same key point which I conveyed you in the previous slide, in which if it is a series element, calculate the current, and if it is a shunt element, calculate the voltage. So here for element R1, as it is a series element, we have to calculate the current. So the current flowing through the resistor R1 is given by I1 is equal to Vi minus V0 divided by R1. Number 2, for capacitor C1, the voltage across the capacitor is given by I1 minus I2 divided by C1S. The capacitor, we have the flow of current I1 as well as here I2. So the voltage across the capacitor is given by I1 minus I2 divided by C1S. Then number 3, for resistor R2, as R2 is in between V1 and V0, the current flowing through the resistor I2 is given by I2 is equal to V1 minus V0 divided by R2. Number 4, for capacitor C2, the voltage across the capacitor V0 is equal to 1 by C2S into I2. Now rewriting all the 4 equations in terms of the performance equation with respect to the node and its branch gain, just I have rewritten all the 4 equations I1, V1, I2, V0, where I1 is equal to 1 by R1 of Vi minus 1 by R1 of V1, where 1 by R1 and minus 1 by R1 are the branch gains. It's moving from node Vi and V1 towards I1. The second equation V1 is equal to 1 by C1S I1 minus 1 by C1S into I2. The third equation is given by I2 is equal to 1 by R2 into V1 minus 1 by R2 into V0. The fourth equation is given by V0 is equal to 1 by C2S into I2. So making use of these 4 performance equations, we have to draw the signal flow graph. So now let's start from the fourth equation. We have an output node V0 and a node I2 in which a branch is moving from I2 to V0 with a branch gain 1 by C2S. Then moving to the third equation, with respect to node I2, from node V1, a branch is moving towards I2 with a branch gain 1 by I2S. And from V0, a branch is moving towards V1. From V0, a branch is moving towards I2 with the branch gain minus R2. With respect to equation number 2, in specific with respect to the node V1, from node I1, we have a branch gain of 1 by C1S, which is moving towards V1. Then from node I2, we have a branch gain of minus C1 by C1S, which is moving towards V1. Then with respect to equation number 1, in specific to node I1, we have from node Vi, a branch is moving towards I1 with the branch gain of 1 by R1. And from V1, we have a branch gain of minus 1 by R1 moving towards I1. And we have drawn the complete signal flow graph. So this method is very simple. From the electrical network, write the performance equation, then try to plot the graph. So this procedure is very simple, and we can try the same for any complicated electrical network can be transformed into a signal flow graph, and calculating the transfer function through this Mason-Gain formula becomes very easy. So now let's apply Mason's gain formula to the signal flow graph and calculate the transfer function. So the first step is to calculate the forward path gain for each forward path. Here it's very clear that we have only one forward path starting from V1, I1, V1, I2, V0. So the path gain is given by P1 is equal to 1 by R1, R2, C1, C2, A square, the product of all the branch gains. So step 2 is to calculate all individual loop gains. So we have to identify all the individual loop gains. So we have here three individual loop gains, L1, L2 and L3. So we have a total of three individual loop gains, and we can calculate the loop gain. L1 is equal to 1 by R1 C1 is minus of L2 is equal to minus of 1 by R2 C1s, and L3 is equal to minus of 1 by R2 C2s. It's a product of the branch gain starting from one node and again reaching back to the same node. For each individual loops, we have to calculate the loop gain. Step 3. Consider two non-touching loops at a time. So here it is very clear that L1 and L3 are not sharing a common node. Hence, we have identified one combination of two non-touching loops. That is nothing but L1 and L3. And step 5 also, we are not finding any 3 non-touching or 4 non-touching. So you can make it as nil. So step 6, calculate delta. The formula delta is nothing but 1 minus of L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus L1 L3, that is 1 minus of sum of all individual loop gains. We have 3 individual loops, so it is L1 plus L2 plus L3 plus sum of product of two non-touching loops. So we have only one combination of two non-touching loops, so I have written L1 L3 minus of sum of combination of three non-touching loops. So we don't have any combinations of three non-touching loops, so we can leave this. Then finally, calculate for delta I, in which as we have only one forward path n is equal to 1, the value of delta which is not touching the first forward path. Here it is very clear that all the loops are touching the first forward path. Hence delta 1 will be equal to 1. Hence the transfer function CFS by RFS is given by summation I is equal to 1 to n pi delta I divided by delta. As n is equal to 1, the formula is P1 delta 1 divided by delta. Hence substitute for P1, delta 1 as well as delta, and you can get the final answer. So this procedure is pretty simple. Making use of the Mason gain formula, we can transform our electrical network into a simplified signal flow graph, and we can make use of Mason's gain formula and calculate the transfer function very easily. In the next lecture, let me explain you about time response of a feedback control system, that is nothing but module 3. Thank you.